Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got episode 8 of NBA Playoff Watch. We haven't done this in like 2 or 3 weeks. I think I apologize for that. That's my bad. Uh, with the holidays and everything, I was pretty busy. I tried to get most of the videos, but for some reason, this one, I was always had something to do on the day that I would record this typically. But we're back. So I hope you guys are happy about that. If you are, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got college basketball, college football, NFL, and NBA every single week. We also do MLB once that season comes around. So yeah, a lot of content around here about this time of year. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that, follow that, whatever you like to do. But let's get into the Eastern Conference standings. At the top, the Celtics still, in control of the East. They've been up there for pretty much the whole season, and they're looking like the best team in the league. 26-7, like I said. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're doing really good right now. Best record in the league, probably the best overall roster in the league. They got a plus 10 point differential, which is, second best in the league. I mean, everything. The defense is looking good. The offense is looking really good. So the Celtics are in a great spot right now. The Bucks at 25-10, they're in second in the East, and again, they're doing really good too. The Giannis and Dame are finally learning how to play together. Brook Lopez is doing good. Bobby Portis, all the guys. Chris Middleton, not anything special, but we don't really see. He kind of goes through cycles, so I'm sure he'll be playing good come couple months from now. Um, the Sixers at the 3 seed. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey's doing really good for them. Embiid is looking like an MVP candidate once again. Almost 35 points per game, which is ridiculous. Maxey at 26 points per game and 6 assists. Embiid also, forgot to mention, has 12 rebounds per game and 6 assists. So he's probably the favorite to win MVP right now. The Sixers are going to be in a really good spot. The Heat have really been heating up. No pun intended. But yeah, they're 6-4 in their last 10. They're all the way up at the 4 seed now in the East, and they're looking really good. Jimmy Butler, he's third in scoring on the team, which is kind of ridiculous. But Tyler Hero has really been a big part of this team. Now he has been out for quite some time, but he's been really good, and same with Jaime Jaquez. He's probably a top 3 Rookie of the Year contender. Obviously behind Chet and Wembanyama, but Bam Adebayo as well has been really good for the Heat. The Heat are looking in looking for a good season. Right now they should probably. I think they're a top six team in the East, and as of right now they're top 4. Tyrese Halliburton on the Pacers at 5. He's doing great. 25 points per game. Almost 13 assists, which is ridiculous. Yeah, this whole the offense is just absolutely, blowing by teams. The defense, though, that's the problem. That's what worries me come playoff time, because I do expect this team to make the playoffs because they're good enough. But the defense just kind of lacking, in all honesty. So there is that concerns me, but the offense should be able to win them plenty of games. The Magic at 19-15, they're kind of cooling off. 3-7 in their last 10. Yeah, they're kind of on a cold streak. Paolo Banchero's been really good for them. Same with Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony. This is a very young team, and they're doing really good. They're winning a lot of games, so good for them. The Cavs at 19-15, they're kind of starting to get more healthy. Donovan Mitchell's really ramping it up. He's almost back up to 28 points per game. Darius Garland's starting to get back into the swing of things. He's almost up at 21. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, starting to get back healthy and start scoring some more. Karis LeVert's been really good for them off the bench, almost 16 points per game. He's been really good for them. The Cavs starting to feel what they felt last year as they continue to get healthier. The Knicks just traded for OG Anunoby and got rid of Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett. I'm interested to see how this trade works, because Quickly was looking like he's probably going to be an all-star either. I mean, maybe even as early as this year. I don't know if I want to say that, but quickly was getting ready to. He's probably going to be an all-star. Next year or in 2 years, because he's that good of a player, and with an opportunity to start in Toronto, that could boost his stats even more. And R.J. Barrett's still a very young guy. He has a lot of potential. Obviously, he was drafted in, I think, what was it, third overall. Um, yeah, I mean, all these guys have, both of them have very high potential. The Raptors also got the 31st overall pick. The Knicks obviously get OG Anunoby. I'm not sure where I fall on this trade. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a win for both teams, but I also don't want to say it's a loss. It's kind of in the middle for both teams. I think the Raptors overall probably win the trade, but it is pretty close. And I feel like it's not too bad of a deal. Uh, but I think the Raptors, if I had to pick, I think I would say the Raptors won the deal, just because of the amount of potential that those two guys bring, as well as the first round pick. But the Knicks still doing fine. Obviously, you don't want to see them at the 8th seed, but I think they will get better. The Nets, 15-20, man, they have just been struggling. Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges, both averaging about 21 points per game, but nobody else really doing much on offense. The Hawks at 14-19, the defense has been struggling for them. The offense has been really good. Trae Young leading the way, 28 points per game, 11 assists, but I mean, they got a couple other guys, but the defense for them just really lacking. I feel like this Hawks team is kind of just a worse version of the Pacers. The Bulls have really been ramping things up. 15-21, they're almost back into the play-in. They're only a half game back behind the Hawks. And Kobe White has been ridiculously good this month. He's almost at 18 points per game this season. Zach LaVine has been out, and they've looked better. I think that just goes to show that they should trade Zach LaVine, because they've been playing better without him. So good for the Bulls. The Raptors at 14-20, like I said, they just brought in quickly and R.J. Barrett. I'm interested to see what the lineup looks like. Probably something like quickly Gary Trent, um, um, R.J. Barrett, Siakam, Yakapodal. That could be the starting lineup, but Gary Trent's kind of been struggling this season, so maybe they go with Dennis Schroeder quickly, and then I forgot about Scotty Barnes in the starting lineup. Jeez, that's bad. Um, I think at this point they got to trade Siakam, just to kind of retool around Scotty Barnes. The Hornets at 8-24. I mean, these bottom three teams, not much to talk about. I will talk about the Pistons, though. They finally got the win. They ended the losing streak. Um, I think it capped at 28 points or 28 losses in a row, or maybe 29. This team shouldn't be as bad as it is, but here we are. They're probably going to end up being the worst team in NBA history. That just goes to show how talented and deep the league is. But moving on to the Western Conference, the Timberwolves at 24-9. They're still clinging to that first seed in the West, but it's getting close. It's getting tight. You can see the Thunder and Nuggets are coming. Timberwolves 6-4 in their last 10. Yeah, they're still doing really good though. The Thunder have been hot recently, 8-2. They continue to, beat teams. They just took down the Celtics a couple of days ago. They also beat the Nuggets, like a week ago. They've been winning a lot of big meaningful games. So good for them. SGA is at 31 points per game. He's probably top 3 in MVP race as of right now. Chet Holmgren is he's probably number 1 in Rookie of the Year as of right now. I don't think he'll win it. They'll probably give it to Wembanyama, but he should win it, at least right now, in my opinion. Jokic and the Nuggets at 3. Jamal Murray, I don't know if he's been playing. He has been out for quite some time, but I think he's back now, which is good. They've kind of needed him. Jokic, 26 points per game, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Just a ridiculous stat line. The Clippers are kind of my sleeper team in the West. They're all the way up at the 4 seed now, and they're really starting to lean into this group. Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden. averaging for like a combined 60, 65. That's really good. Kawhi at 25, PG at 23, and James at 18. That's pretty good for your big three. And they also have Westbrook coming off the bench, who's giving them a lot of energy spark. They got Zubac, they got Norman Powell. This team's actually really good, and I really like how they've been playing recently. This is kind of my sleeper team in the West, like I said. The Kings at 20 and 13. After the slow start to the year, they're finally picking things back up. De'Aaron Fox is almost back at 30 points per game. The offense is starting to click out again off the slow start they had. The Pelicans at 21 and 14. I'm really liking how this Zion, Brandon Ingram, group is going. We haven't really seen them healthy at all, but now we're really getting to see that, and they're looking really good. They're the sixth seed in the West right now. The Mavericks have really kind of fallen off a little bit. They're 4-6 in their last 10. I don't want to say fallen off, but they've kind of slowed down. They were all the way up at the 3 seed, but you know who hasn't slowed down is Luka Doncic. 34 points per game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. That's just ridiculous. Kyrie Irving's been having a really good year too, 23 points per game. Um, he has been in and out of the lineup though with the injuries, but Derek Lively for them at center has been really good. He's a rookie. I really liked what I've seen from him. The Rockets at the 8 seed. Uh, Alfred Sengun's leading the charge. He's been really, really good. 22 points per game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Fred VanVleet's also been pretty good. This team just got a lot of guys that are just, pretty good. They don't have like a superstar. They don't really have, somebody who's really bringing them down either, though. The Suns, we're starting to get to see this group play together, which I'm excited to see more and more. All three of them, KD, Booker, and Bradley Beal, have all been injured a lot. But from what I've seen, they've looked pretty good. But with the injuries, the record won't really show that. The Lakers need to make a move or something. Maybe they get Zach LaVine. I think that would be a pretty good fit for them because it's just not working. Yeah, I mean that's really it. It's just not working. They're 17 and 18, almost out of the play-in race. The Warriors, 16 and 18, similar thing with the Lakers. They got to make a move or something. It's just not working. Steph Curry's got to put pressure on the front office. He really hasn't done that all of his career. So he needs to definitely um, you know, put pressure on the front office and make them make a move because it's just they're not winning games. Wiggins and Clay both having very down years. Draymond Green hasn't even played; he's been suspended. So obviously something's wrong. They're not even in the play-in, but they gotta do something because I don't think this core as of right now is good enough. The Jazz, I mean, this just goes to show the Jazz are only a half game back of them. Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton. That's kind of their big three. It's actually a decent big three, but in this talented of a Western Conference, I don't see a world where they make the play-in. Maybe the play-in, but I don't know. The Grizzlies, John Morant's back, and he came back with a spark. He gave like 35 points in a buzzer beater in his first game back. He's at 25.6 points per game. He's already leading the team in scoring, and he's really given them a spark they've needed. They're 5-5 in their last 10, but they've really been picking things up, and I do expect them to get even higher in the Western Conference standings as the year goes on. Finally, Jaws back, and then these bottom two teams, not much to talk about. Anthony Simons has been good when he's played. Jeremy Grant's been decent. Wembanyama's looked really good, but on the Spurs, there's not really anyone else to contribute. You can see that with their 5 wins. So let's get right in now. Let's move into the playoff, the playoff bracket. Looking at the West over in the bottom left, starting with the 7-8, the Mavericks versus the Rockets. I'm going to take the Mavericks. I think Luka can do enough to get this one done, especially in just a one-game series. Suns, Lakers. I'm going to trust the Suns a little more. The Lakers, although they do have LeBron and AD, they just don't look right now. And I'm going to take the Suns over the Rockets. I just don't see it with this Rockets team. I don't think the Rockets team is anywhere near as good as this Suns, Lakers, and Mavericks team. I just don't really see a world where they compete. So give me the Suns to get the 8 seed. Moving over to the East play-in, we're going to look at the bottom right corner, Cavs, Knicks, 7 versus 8. I'm going to take the Cavs. They're continuing to get healthy. They're getting hot. I like them. And then for the 9-10, Nets versus Hawks. You know, the Nets just have been struggling on both sides of the ball. The Hawks at least have the offense going for them, so I'll take that. I'll take the Hawks there. But then I'm going to go with the Knicks. I just think they're the overall better team, and they have been struggling recently, but I think they would be able to win a one-game series versus the Hawks. Jalen Brunson maybe has a big game. Timberwolves and Suns to start off the Western Conference 1 versus 8 matchup. I'm going to go with the Timberwolves. The Suns just have not been healthy enough, and the Timberwolves have looked really, really good. But I'm going to go Timberwolves in 6. I think the Suns can win some games. I think if this series were to go 7 games, then the Suns might be able to win. But I think the Timberwolves get it done in 6. Clippers Kings. Yeah, this is a really good matchup. I mean, I said it. The Clippers are a team. They're kind of my dark horse team in the West, but the Kings have really been picking things up recently. And the offense looks back to last season form. That's how good it looks. They're really starting to get the swing of things this season. This is a really tough matchup. I'm gonna go Clippers in 7. I just trust their veteran experience a little more than the Kings. I know the Kings have been in the playoffs before, but the Clippers with Kawhi, PG, James Harden, Westbrook, I mean, those guys are as experienced as you can get. So I'm gonna take the Clippers here. Nuggets and Pelicans. This is a kind of a cool matchup. I would actually really like to see this one. I am gonna take the Nuggets. They've been in these playoff scenarios more. They obviously won last year, and I gotta trust the defending champs and Jokic. Jamal Murray is back now, so that's a huge spark for them. And then Thunder versus Mavericks. This is an interesting matchup. Luka, I could see just carrying his team to a win in the first round. But this Thunder team just looks really complete. I'm gonna go with the Thunder in 6. I think this would be a competitive series, but SGA and just all those guys. This is a really deep Thunder team. And besides Luke and Kyrie, the Mavericks don't really have anyone else who can score. You could kind of say the same thing for the Thunder with SGA, but I don't know. I just trust this Thunder team. They've been really, they've been beating some good teams recently. Like I said, they beat the Celtics, they beat the Nuggets. So, there's that. So I'm gonna take the Thunder. So a little bit chalky on the Western Conference, but I promise you I'll get some upsets coming in due time. But moving over to the East, 1 versus 8, I gotta go with the Celtics. Like I said, I think they've been the best team all year. And the Knicks have kind of been struggling recently to continue to win games. I'm gonna go Celtics in 5. I think Jalen Brunson could win them one game. I'm interested to see how OG Anunoby fits in, though. I think he will fit in pretty good. Heat and Pacers. This just seems like a bad matchup for the Pacers. The Heat, just a hardcore defensive team, and come playoff time, they really show that. The Pacers are a young team, have little to none in playoff experience, and the offense is really good, but the defense just looks really lackluster. I think the Heat would win this one. I'll go Heat in 6. I just think it's a bad matchup for the Pacers all around. Sixers Magic. The Magic have been pretty cold recently. The Sixers have probably the MVP frontrunner, Joel Embiid, leading the way. 35 points per game, 12 rebounds, with Tyrese Maxey too. Can't argue with that. The Magic are young, little to no playoff experience, like I've said, and the Sixers have been here for quite some time. I'm gonna trust Embiid to get it done. I'll go Sixers. Honestly, I might go Sixers in 4. I just don't see a world where the Magic can win one. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sixers in 4. There's always one sweep in the first round, I feel like. And then the 2 versus 7, Bucks versus Cavs. The Cavs have been getting healthy recently. They have been kind of heating up, returning to last season form. But the Bucks, Giannis and Dame in a playoff series, you just can't really argue with that. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. Chris Middleton usually figures it out come playoff time. They got Brook Lopez still defending the paint. They still got Bobby Portis coming off the bench. They still got a bunch of other guys too. And with the Cavs, I think the Bucks team just matches up really well against them. Darius Garland versus Dame. I'm taking Dame. Um, Donovan Mitchell is kind of the outlier, which I think he would be able to win them a game. So I'm gonna go Bucks in five. Um, but Chris Middleton, I think matches up well against who do they put at small? Who do the Cavs put at small forward? Is it It's not Karis LeVert. It might be Isaac Okoro. I don't know. I feel like he comes off the bench though. Well, I'm gonna take Chris Middleton over whoever it is. Because if it was somebody like really good, I feel like I would know. I'm gonna look right now though. Oh, Max Strus. Yeah, okay. Well, they have started Okoro too. Um, Dean Wade has started 20 games. Jeez, that just shows you how banged up this team has been all year. But yeah, I'm gonna take Middleton over him, and then obviously Giannis over Mobley, and Brook Lopez is probably I'll take him over Jared Allen, and you got Bobby Portis off the bench. I just think it's a really good matchup for the Bucks. So give me the Bucks in five. I think Donovan Mitchell could win him a game though. Moving back over to the West, Timberwolves Clippers. I've been high on the Timberwolves all year. They've been my dark horse team ever since the preseason. But but this Clippers team, I'm telling you something about it. I'm kind of switching it. I don't know, something about this Clippers team. I'm really liking how they've been playing recently. Give me the Clippers in seven. I think this would be a very competitive series. I'm gonna go with the Clippers though. I think they can do it. They got more experience than the Timberwolves. I know the Timberwolves have made the playoffs before, but James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, if they're all healthy, that's a scary trio to come up against in the playoffs. Um, I know none of them are in their prime anymore, but still, those names, man. I'm telling you, this Clippers team is gonna make a run in the playoffs if they're healthy, because they are playing really good. The James Harden trade, they struggled at first, but they're starting to learn how to play to it with each other, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing as of right now with the Clippers. So give me the Clippers in seven. They've been hot recently. They're on a 4-game win streak, 8-2 in their last 10. The Timberwolves have kind of slowed down a little. Give me the Clippers, and then the 3 versus 2. I gotta go with the Nuggets. The Thunder are still a very young team, and they have looked really good. But the Nuggets, come playoff time, it's hard to bet against Jokic and the Nuggets. We saw how they just dominated through the playoffs last year. They swept the Western Conference Finals. They won in 5 in the NBA Finals. I mean, they just didn't really have too many issues. They didn't have a 7-game series, I don't think. I think they swept first round too. I think their closest series was six games against the Suns. Um, yeah, I gotta go Nuggets. They're just more experienced. I'll go Nuggets in 5. I don't know. Who's gonna stop Jokic? You're telling me Chet Holmgren's gonna stop him? I just don't think he has the weight. He's still very young. Who's gonna guard Jokic, and then who's gonna guard Jamal Murray? Also, they still got Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon too. I think the Nuggets and Mike Malone could figure out a way to slow down SGA, and once you do that, I mean, we haven't really seen this team in a playoff scenario. We've seen them in the play-in, but that's not the playoffs. So I'm gonna take the Nuggets in 5. Celtics versus Heat, a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals from last year. I think the Celtics get their revenge and win this one. I'll go 6. The Heat are always a tough out in the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best head coaches in the league, if not the best. And the defense for the Heat is really good, but the Celtics have a dominating defense and a high-powered offense with stars all around, and they're deep. They shoot the 3 well. They defend everything well. Give me the Celtics in 6. This team just looks. I mean, you go from being one game. So in 2022, you go from losing in the finals. So you go from. Sorry, let me just restart. In 2022, you're 2 games away from being a national, or not a national championship, an NBA champion. Last year, you're 1 game away from reaching the finals again. This year, you have the same team except you add in Drew Holiday, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, probably the best, and you bring in Kristaps Porzingis, who is a great offensive big. You lose Grant Williams, which is tough. He was a great 3-and-D player, but you also have Derek White blossoming into potentially an all-star. I gotta go with the Celtics team. This Celtics team is just ridiculously good. Sixers, Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. This would be a really tough series. I'll go Bucks in 7. I think this would be a back and forth series. I could see, the Bucks winning game 1, the Sixers winning game 2, Bucks winning game 3, Sixers winning game 4, and you get the rest. I could see that in this series. If we get this series in the playoffs, that would be a really exciting series. Embiid versus Giannis, Tyrese Maxey versus Dame. I just think the Bucks have a couple more guys who I can trust than the Sixers. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. So we got a 4 seed and a 3 seed in the West, and a 1 and a 2 in the East. So for the Western Conference Finals, I think this is where the Clippers' run comes to an end. I gotta go with the Nuggets. It's just hard to bet against Jokic and Jamal Murray in the playoffs. And like I said, that's not the only 2 guys on their team. Michael Porter Jr. has been great. Aaron Gordon's a really crucial piece to this team. And the Nuggets are 8-2 in their last 10. I know the Clippers are as well. But the Nuggets, man, I don't know. It's just once you get into playoffs, they're just a different team. It's a hard out. I mean, Reggie Jackson as well has been really good. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Christian Braun. They just got a bunch of guys with experience. They got everything. I'm gonna go Nuggets in 6 over the Clippers. I think they just. I mean, who's gonna stop Jokic for the for the Clippers? I don't think Zubac is gonna do much. And then Celtics versus Bucks. This would be a great Eastern Conference Finals matchup. Tatum versus Giannis, Jaylen Brown versus Dame. I think Drew Holiday would give Dame some problems. Now Giannis is obviously gonna be not easy to stop, but the Celtics defense, if they can figure out a way to slow down Giannis, not even stop him, just slow him down, I think they can win the series. Drew Holiday, I think, will do enough against Dame and, Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Now, Jaylen Brown has been kind of iffy come playoff time, but we'll see. I think the Celtics team, I don't know, I just think they're the deepest team. They play very good defense. They play very good offense. I got to go with the Celtics. This is the team, I've said it all year. I think they're the best team in the league. I'm going to go with the Celtics in 7, though. The Bucks are a really good team. And then that sets up a finals matchup of the Nuggets versus Celtics. Nuggets won last year. The Celtics were a game away from playing the Nuggets in the finals last year. Now they get them. And I think they do it. I think the Celtics, I've been saying this the whole video. I think the Celtics are just the best team in the league. They've proved they have the best record. They've looked the best. They're 26-7. They haven't lost at home yet, which is crazy. They're 16-0 at home. They're scoring over 120 points per game. They're holding, their opponents to 110 points per game. They have the second best point differential in the league. They have like double the Nuggets point differential. This team is just ridiculously good. They're deep. I've been saying it. They shoot the 3. They have the stars to do it. They play perimeter defense. They hustle. They get rebounds. They just do it. They just do it all. They can. They just do it all. I think they're the best team in the league. So give me the Celtics over the Nuggets. I'll go in 6. I think the Celtics finally get it done with this core. They've been coming up short the past couple of years. I think this is their year that they finally do it. So give me the Celtics to win the championship. So yeah, that's going to do it for episode 8 of NBA Playoff Watch. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win it all this season? As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that, follow that, whatever you'd like to do. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We got college basketball, college football, NFL, and NBA every single week. We also do MLB. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you guys on Monday with another college basketball Power 40 rankings. Should be pretty fun.